Oh, Atari. I'm so tired of talking about you, but I can't stop exposing you. Exposed. Skip it up and that up. So Atari, for the past, I would say, year and change, has been in the news, mostly for the wrong reasons, but because they are, hopefully, supposedly, releasing the Atari VCS, which is their game console, which they're even going to have the balls like Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo Switch Online to charge a monthly fee to play online with it, when the Atari VCS is really nothing more than an underpowered Linux PC with an AMD APU in it. That's all it is. And they've shown no games for it, except Tempest 4000, which you could play on other consoles. Sign me up. So whatever, I've talked about the Atari VCS in length before. I may have a card right here if you want to check it out. It's kind of old news, so maybe you shouldn't check it out, but you can go watch the video anyway. But the Atari VCS isn't the main topic of this video. Today we're going to be discussing another exciting Atari product that you will never get to own. And that product is the Atari Gameband, which was supposed to be a smartwatch that... Here's the trailer. Just watch a little bit of it. I still don't understand it, and I don't understand how they got so much money via Kickstarter for it, but take a look at some snippets.
We're gamers, and our passion for games doesn't stop when the screen turns off. We carry it with us, everywhere we go. Now you can too, with Gameband, the first smartwatch for gamers. Gameband Atari Edition puts the action right on your wrist with watch-optimized versions of classic Atari games. But Gameband's hardware is far from retro.
Inside Gameband, we put an AMOLED display that's crystal clear. We put the Qualcomm Snapdragon 2100 processor, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth 4.2.
They made on Kickstarter alone over $325,000. People were throwing their money at an Atari Gameband, a smartwatch that they showed people playing Pong on. Who wants to sit there with a screen? Here's my phone. Who wants to sit there with a screen like this big? It's literally the size of a nipple. And going, oh, look at me, I'm playing Pong on here. Do you really want to do that? And all the other stupid features. Oh, it has super easy micro SD storage. Micro SD storage is easy. All you gotta do, look, here, right now. Micro SD card reader, whatever. It reads everything. It's a fucking miracle. You get this. You get this. Here, this is a micro SD to SD card adapter. Don't even need that. You get this. Has a slot for the micro SD card. It's in. Oh, look. You could easily read what's on the micro SD card, and I didn't need to buy an Atari Gameband smartwatch to do it. Oh! Anyway, no, I'm not losing my mind. There was something that people saw in this smartwatch. Maybe because it was just a smartwatch with the Atari logo on it. Maybe people did want to play Pong on a 1-inch screen. I don't know, but it got a lot of people excited, and like I said, on Kickstarter alone, they made over $325,000. And a lot of people were excited and waiting to get the Atari Gameband smartwatch, but it ain't gonna happen. They had this Kickstarter over a year ago, and not only is the watch not gonna happen, the backers are not gonna get a refund from a corporation. This isn't like some random dude who had an idea and went on Kickstarter and his wife used all the money for a boob job and to buy some blow. No, Atari, a corporation, had a Kickstarter, they're not following through, and they're not refunding anybody. Let all that sink into your brains. Now, the guy who was behind this, the CEO of FM2 Game Inc., name just rolls right off the tongue. His name is Fergal McConalda. I don't know. I've literally heard him say his own goddamn name, and I still can't pronounce it. this gem of a human being explains why the Atari Gameband is not happening, and this is what he has to say. Ultimately, the time, cost, and complexity have turned out to be far more challenging than we expected, and as a startup, we simply do not have the finances or resources to continue to forge ahead. We have looked at it from many angles, met with new potential partners, and tried to find additional funding to keep going. However, we have not been able to make progress. Which, when you watch the initial trailer, man, you thought like that watch was ready to go. They were calling it at the time, which is a little over a year ago now, the most powerful smartwatch on the market. But how could it be on the market when it was, how could you say it was the most powerful smartwatch on the market when it never even came to fruition? You're not delivering it. You can't buy it, so it's not on the goddamn market.
You blew it.
But now, hey, Mr. McCullough, what about the money from all the backers? Are they going to get it back? Because, you're not just a random fly-by-night guy on Kickstarter. Because like I always say, if a random person goes on Kickstarter and you invest in a product, you have to know there's a good chance you won't get your money back. But this is Atari. This is a corporation. And if something falls through, which I don't even know why corporations like Atari are allowed to make Kickstarters, but whatever, that's a topic for a different video, you would think to be able to get their money back. So what does Mr. Blah 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 say about that? Let's see. We will do our utmost to do so, and in fact, we are determined to do so if and when we can. For now, that is not the case. Our costs have far exceeded the $500K to date as we have dealt with the delays and technical challenges. You ain't getting your money back. If you invested in this watch, which honestly I don't see what the appeal to it was, but if you invested in this Atari Gameband and you put money down, it's gone. You're not getting it back. The $325,000 that you invested in this Atari Gameband is as good as gone. They screwed you over. That's it. And this Fergal McConnell flipped it up. Well, I actually saw this in Stop, Drop, and Retro. Okay, his video. I'll have a link to his video below in the description. I think his name is Stop, Drop, and Retro. Yes, I'm right. See, I got that off the top of my head. I didn't even have to look at the YouTube video. I'm proud of myself. I found out through him that this Fergal McFlitup, we'll call him Fergal McFlitup. We're going to roll with that. He had some other weird Kickstarter. Like the Kickstarter for the Atari Gameband, they made it like it was the first project he was invested in. But this guy, Fergal, he did another Kickstarter where he had some USB thumb drive that we wore on your wrist called the Stormfly. And he was trying to sell it as if it was a computer on your wrist, but all it was a thumb drive with Linux on it. That's really all it was. And you could actually buy those thumb drives for like pennies to the dollar. They look exactly the same without the Stormfly logo. You could buy those right now. This guy is like, he's as shady as a giant goddamn oak tree. I don't, and how can it, like Atari is the company behind all this. They're stamping their name on this Gameband. How can they not return the money to the backers? Do you know how bad this makes you look, Atari? And please, for the love of God, never ever work with Fergal McFlitup again. He's a jackass. He's a shady guy. Really shady. Stay away from Fergal McFlitup. Recently, I can't see it because the crowdfunding page is now gone if you click the link. Atari went on a weird website called Start Engine for crowdfunding, which I never heard before, to get Roller Coaster Tycoon on the Switch. And they didn't get the money that they wanted. They closed down, like I said, they closed down the Start Engine page. And a lot of people that thought that the Roller Coaster Tycoon for the Switch was just never going to happen. But actually, that's not the case. In a couple weeks, Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures is coming to the Switch. So they're actually coming through with that. Now, if it's going to be a crap game, who knows? Is it going to be like a port from a mobile version of Roller Coaster Tycoon? We'll have to wait and see. But they're making good on that. So, yay, Atari, you're not complete shady scumbags, and you're actually coming out with a product and not just slapping your name everywhere, hoping that it'll make you some coin. Now, Atari, like I said, I don't agree with this, was trying to slap their name on everything. Next, for all we know, they may have had their own Atari wireless keyboard. They were just, look, someone owns the Atari name and they're just looking to make money off of it. And there was another thing that they were looking to get out there called the Atari Retro Handheld. And at first that seemed like it was going to be another piece of vaporware, but it's actually in stock now. You could actually buy it for £34.99, and that equates to about almost $45. And it's in stock. And from what I'm looking at reviews here, people say it's pretty good. Now, all those reviews could be fake reviews. Who knows? I have not heard of Funstock Retro.uk. Okay. So who knows, but it exists. It's a product that you can buy. So Atari came through again. It isn't just offering vaporware, which they're known to do because they just want to get the Atari logo on whatever they can. So my point being is that, look, they are coming through with some things. We're getting a roller coaster tycoon adventures for the Switch relatively soon. They came out with the Atari Retro handheld as something physical, tangible that you could buy now. And like I said, it's getting relatively good reviews if the reviews are honest. So there is product out there from Atari. But Atari, you had almost $500,000 given to you, okay, between Kickstarter backers, and they're saying that they had investors too for this Atari Gameband. And the product just isn't going to exist. It isn't going to come out. And you have people who invested a crap ton of money on Kickstarter who aren't going to get refunds. And again, you're not an individual who had an idea who brought it to Kickstarter, okay? You're a corporation. And you're a corporation who's trying to bring out a console in early 2019, the Atari VCS. And you're going to have this to ruin your reputation out there? You want people to invest in a console for $300 from you, the Atari VCS, and you have another project out there that you took hundreds of thousands of dollars from regular customers and you're not delivering on it. And not only are you not delivering on it, you're not refunding the money, and you want people to trust in the Atari VCS. This issue right here with the Atari Gameband and people not getting a refund, the Atari VCS is dead. Your reputation is going to, even if that console comes out with 10 must-have exclusives, okay, and it can compete with the PS4 and Xbox One, it's over. No one's going to trust you. I won't trust you. How the hell can I trust you when you could take hundreds of thousands of dollars from consumers who wanted to buy your product, who had faith in you, and not only not deliver it, you just basically stole money from them? I'm going to make a statement that might be unpopular, but I really think that these crowdfunding sites, if a corporation wants to go to these crowdfunding sites, whether it be Sony, whether it be Atari, whether it be Microsoft or whatever, they shouldn't be allowed to. Why can't you get investors? Why can't you get loans from banks? Why can't you do other things? You're not a single person with an idea. That's what Kickstarters are for. Kickstarters are for people who have just this great idea and they can't get the funding for it. Maybe they don't have the credit to go to a bank to get it. And they go on Kickstarter, say, hey guys, I think I have a great idea that's revolutionary. If you want to back it, you can. And like I said, with with individuals, I still say, hey, you're giving them money and you may never see a product for it and you just have to accept it. But when these big companies go on Kickstarters, no, it's not acceptable. They shouldn't be on there to begin with. And if they still go on there and they don't follow through, they should offer refunds. This is lunacy. This is absolute lunacy. And honestly, Atari, because of this, you deserve for the Atari VCS to fail. How can anyone trust your reputation now when you're willing to swindle people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars and offer them absolutely nothing? Goddamn shame on you, man. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.